Yep, they're broke, just like me. And I started putting their names down, like my buddy John, my buddy Tim, my buddy Chris, my buddy Charlie. And then I got the bright idea to go after my Uncle Bernie. Now let me tell you about my Uncle Bernie. He was 40 years old. He lived with his mother. How many of you think he needs an opportunity? After a certain age, it's, what are they? I'm there to take care of her. No, you're still living there. You know, and then I went after my neighbor Jack, who was unemployed for 3 years, and I was taking my business into the ACN Peace Corps. How many agree there's no money in the Peace Corps? See, here's what I found. Most of the people that were in my circle of influence, some came over, some didn't do it, and the guy that was unemployed was busy. Because you're doing what? You're unemployed. You know? But here's what I found, is the people that were more successful than me, I prejudged. How many of you know what I mean? I prejudged them. See, I thought that everybody did ACN for the same reason I did. You know, I did it to get away from what I'm doing, but then I didn't look through a business owner's eyes. Do you realize business owners, any business owners in this room? Do you have overhead? Do you have fixed costs? Do you have liabilities? Yes. Do you have employees?
Yes.
Right, are you affected by the economy? And did it cost you more than $499? Right, they answered yes to all that. Do you realize none of those things exist here? None of those things exist. But when you show it to a business owner, they see it quickly. And I'll give you an example. After I was done calling all my broke friends, I started writing a list of the people that I had to write a list of. First guy I put in a list, his name was Danny Fiore. He owned 5 car dealerships. Now guys, I wasn't the most confident human being. Remember, I'm selling cars and delivering pizza. You know, I'm making 29 grand a year. And I remember it was a little bit of a fear to call him. You know, how many of you hesitated calling people? Pick the phone up, put it down, pick the phone up, put it down. Voices start talking to you, right? And I remember I called him up. I said, Danny, do you look at other ways of making money? You know what he said? How do you think I got to where I am? It was like almost a stupid question to him. When I went through the script, at the end of the script, he goes, you know what, I'll be there Wednesday. He showed up and he was the first one to sign up. Now, think about this. My friends didn't do it. The guys that were less successful than me didn't do it. But the most successful person I knew did it. Now here's the great thing. He had 65 people in his meeting. How great was that?
Yeah.
I was the most excited person in his meeting. Because I realized this was my team. So you want to go after people better than you, right? And then everybody else. Now, here's the secret to the business. If you catch nothing here tonight, but catch this, you're on your way to the top. Right? The size of your meeting will duplicate. Every market that I went into, there was always a handful of people that did better than the rest. And you know what it was? They had a big home meeting. See, how many of you realize that we're in the people business, not the energy and telecom business? Now, I know I just confused a few people here, but would you agree that the person that has the most reps is naturally going to have the most customers, yes or no? So you're in the people business, but being in the people business, people do as we do, not as we say, yes or no? You know, I'll give you an example. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, building a business, and I met a couple people, and they had a few people in front of me, and a couple people got started. They put a few people in front of me, and it was just a slow start to the business, but there was a guy that came into my business named Michael Crowder. Now, let me tell you about Michael Crowder. He was the entrepreneur of the year in Charlotte, North Carolina, 3 years prior. When I met him, he was going bankrupt. I remember he came up to me at a training, and he goes, I'm losing everything. I was like, that don't sound good. He goes, I need to make this work quick. What's the fastest way to build a business? I said, fill your living room with the best people you can. He goes, Mike, look, I own 3 businesses. You know, I was the entrepreneur of the year. 3 years earlier, he goes, go ahead and shoot me straight. What's the fastest way to build a business? I said, okay, I'll speak slowly. Fill your living room with the best people you can. He goes, okay, great. He sent me a list of 67 people. Now 35 showed up. I did the presentation, 17 signed up.
Nice.
Now let me tell you what happened. Those 17 that signed up, what kind of living room were they in? They duplicated that. They came to training and they did their presentation. See, what he set in motion, in 90 days he hit regional director On the 4th month, he became the #1 regional director in the company. Because people do as we do, not as we say. See, look, if you put 3 people in your living room, and I'm one of the 3, do I think you're really excited about anything? Yeah. Now, if you put 30 people in your living room, I'm 30 think, man, you're really fired up about something, yes or no? How many of you agree I pay attention a little bit more?
Right.
Yes.
Right? And now, this is a lot easier than owning a business, yes or no?
Yes.
See, here's what he said. Write a list, memorize a script, call everybody up, read it to them. If they say yes, invite them to your living room. This was a no-brainer. It became that simple for me. Because all I had to do is get what? Inviting people to my living room. I went into New York City, same thing. Got a guy in my group named Sajad. He was a police officer. He put a small group together. In that small group came a gentleman named Joe. Joe put a small group together. In his group was a guy named Raman. Andy Raman. Andy's about this big. He's a taxi driver from Bangladesh. He come in, just excited guy. He goes, what do I do? How do I make it go fast? I said, put a lot of people in front of me. He put 60 people in front of me. 30 people got started. 42 months later, those 30 people turned into 12,000 people and 70,000 customers. Now, we know how the taxi driver's doing, yes or no? But the guy that owned the corner store don't own the corner store anymore. And the police officer retired 10 years early. But what did Raman do that most people didn't?
Put a lot of people.
A big PBR. That's all it was. He put more people in front of the opportunity than anybody else. Now, what I'm going to teach you tonight is how to get people from the list to the living room. But before I teach you this, you got to understand a couple things. Number one is people see you as you. Let me say that again. People see you as you. How many of you started talking about ACN and somebody got skeptical? Now, why did they become skeptical? Because they know you're not the expert. See, that would be like me walking in here tonight and starting giving medical advice out. Anybody be a little skeptical of that? Hey, I think you need surgery, bro. Now, why do you laugh? Because you know I'm not a surgeon. They know you're not a telecom and energy expert, yes or no?
Right.
So when you start talking about the opportunity and you don't talk, you talk about the thing, not the person, that's when it creates skepticism, yes or no? How many of you created skepticism?
Yeah.
Right? Because you started answering questions. Now, we have a script that works. And all you got to do is memorize this script. Back here. I'm going to go through it with everybody. I'm going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to invite the audience, because I want to invite everybody here. I want you to hear how I do it. And then I want you to think of a question somebody might ask, and I'm going to teach you how to answer all the questions. Fair enough? Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I call somebody up. First thing you want to do is qualify them by asking them a question. Do you look at other ways of making money? Now, when you ask that question to somebody, you're going to get 1 of 3 types of answers. You're going to get yes, you're going to get no, or you're going to get, what are you talking about, yes or no? Right? If they say no, thank them and move on. It's not time to get that salesperson hat on. What do you mean you don't look at other ways of making money? No. Thank them and move on. But I promise you, you'll forever look at them differently. You know?
Yes.
But if they say yes or what are you talking about, you've got to talk about why you're looking at something new. Right? And then you edify the speaker and set up a confirmation call. So here's how it goes. Let's say I called you up and said, hey, it's Mike, you got a second. Want to ask you a question. Do you look at other ways of making money?
Yeah. Yes.
Great. I don't know if you know this, but I've been working on a car lot for 9 years and I'm not getting rich. And based on that, I started looking around at other things. I ran into a company that deals in telecom and energy, but let me tell you, I met this guy named Jeff Street. Give you a little background on Jeff. He moved here from the West Coast. He's bringing something here that's never been done before. He's having massive financial success. And Wednesday night at 6:30, I got a half hour's time. He's going to show me and a select group of people exactly what he's doing. Now, what are you doing Wednesday, and can I put you down as coming? How many of you'd say yes to that? Right? How many of you'd have questions?
Right.
What would be a question somebody might ask? Just put your hand up, okay?
What is it about?
That is a great question. I don't know all the details, but here's what I do know. The company deals in telecom and energy. The guy's name's Jeff Street. He's having massive financial success. And based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say Wednesday. How about you? Can I put you down as coming?
Is there a website?
I don't know. That's a great question. But here's what I do know. The company deals in telecom and energy. The guy's name's Jeff Street. He's having massive financial success. And based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say on Wednesday. How about you? Can I put you down as coming? Hold on, I didn't say yes yet.
Is it a pyramid? Is it a pyramid?
Hold on. Can I put you down as coming?
What's the name of the company?
That's another great question. I don't know. But here's what I do know. The company deals in telecom and energy. The guy's name's Jeff Street. He's having massive financial success. And based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say Wednesday. How about you? Can I put you down as coming? Okay. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Is it one of those pyramid things?
I don't know. That's a great question. But here's what I do know. The company deals in telecom and energy. The guy's name's Jeff Street. He's having massive financial success. And based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say Wednesday. How about you? Can I put you down as coming? Great.
Is this ACN?
I don't know. But here's what I do know. The company deals in telecom and energy. The guy's name's Jeff Street. Did you hear the fact he's having massive financial success?
Yeah.
And he's going to show us what he's doing on Wednesday at 6:30. Can I put you down as coming?
I'll be there.
Great. Anyone else?
How much does it cost? That's a great question.
I don't know. That's a great question. But here's what I do know. The company deals
Send me
in
information.
telecom and energy. The guy's
Email
name's
me,
Jeff
email
Street.
me.
He's had massive financial success. And based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say on Wednesday. How about you? Can I put you down as coming? Anyone? How many of you are understanding this? It's not about the thing, it's about the person. See, I'll give you an example. How many of you know who Mark Cuban is?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Mark Cuban's worth what, $3-4 billion? Right? Imagine if I said I had Mark Cuban coming over to my house.
They would
Would you be like, what's it all about? No, why? Because Mark Cuban is what? He's edified. Everything that you've read or saw or heard about him, you give credibility to him. So topic of conversation doesn't matter. Now, you know why people ask questions? Because they're interested. That means interest. Every time somebody asks me a question, I'm like, oh, you're interested, this is great. But I just got, now look, we're all going to have people in our lives that are slower than others, can we agree? So when somebody asked me a question once, my answer was, I don't know. But here's what I do know. The company deals in telecom and energy. The guy's name's Jeff Street. He's having massive financial success. And based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say. Now, how many of you have friends that ask you a second question?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. What time is it again?
It's at 6:30. Can I put you down as coming?
I don't know. Let me think about it.
Karen, it sounds like you're not interested, but I'll put someone else in your seat. Thank you for your time. Click, move on. I'm sorry. If you don't know, I know. Because look, I'm looking for people that are looking for me.
Right.
Look, guys. This is, because if you start answering questions, they're gonna make a decision, yes or no. They're gonna get skeptical, yes or no.
Yes.
Right? And they're gonna say no, yes or no.
That's right.
I'll give you an example. I'm in Michigan right now, building a business, and I did a PBR about 3 weeks ago. And in the PBR, this guy comes up to me after the meeting, he's like, I'm in. Hands me his application, he goes, I think my cousin's doing this. I'm like, well, how do you know the host? He goes, oh, we work together. I'm like, why wouldn't you do it with your cousin? He goes, because he tried to explain it all to me. He goes, he said nothing, you make sense, I'm in. Lesson. See, guys, here's our goal, is to have you have more success than we did, quicker than we did. How many of you like that?
Yes.
See, we're teaching you the fastest way to build a business, but you gotta be coachable. Everybody say coachable.
Coachable.
You gotta be coachable. You know, it's about the person, not the thing. They're gonna come over and make their own decision, yes or no? How many of you agree we can't do this over the phone?
Right.
Recruiting is a process, not an event. How many of you found that out? Yes. Right? So just get good at the script. Here's the other thing, don't present, just invite. See, if I said I was gonna come over and cut your grass every week, how many of you cut your own grass? No, you'd be like, hey, Mike, get over here, take grass, get along, right? Then why do you do it here? Make it simple on yourself. You look at other ways of making money, click. You look at other, it's really simple. Enthusiasm. Here's the other thing, be excited. If you get excited, people will want to come to see what you're excited about. I've had friends of mine like, you're not telling me anything, fine, I'm gonna come over and see what this is all about. The reason I went over, because my friend's mom was out of her mind. I'm like, okay, I'll come over and check it out, but she told me about somebody having success. Practice the script. I have people pick up the thing, they pick up the thing, they're like, do you look it on a resume? Practice it a few times. You know what I did? I wrote it out. I practiced it. I recorded myself a couple times because I realized, look, man, they said if I do this right, I can get off the car lot. I'm like, give me that script. You know, it's simple, but you got to keep it simple. Now, if they have questions, be new. Talk about the person, not the thing. New technology. Three-way call. Don't present, just invite. Enthusiasm may equal great results. Now, the other thing is this. Think about what we've done up until this point. You scheduled your meeting tonight. You went home and you wrote a list of over 100 names. You practiced the script. You got some people coming to your living room. Now it's the night of your meeting. Can we agree it's simple? Right? The night of your meeting, you're going to have 3 different people in your living room. You're going to have people that say yes. Can we agree?
Yes.
What do? You sign them up. Meaning, if Casey was signing up, I'd be like, welcome to the team, fantastic. I'd start filling out, helping him sign himself up. And then I'd be like, Casey, when do you want to do a meeting in your living room? Wednesday at 6:30. But this guy's really coachable. We're going to do great things together, but you got to come to training Tuesday. We can't do anything till you come to training Tuesday. Fair enough?
Yes.
Great. And then I'm going to give Casey a magazine. Now, why am I going to take money out of my pocket and give him a magazine? Because I know what Casey's going to do. He's going to do the same thing that we all did. Go home and talk to somebody about it, yes or no? How many of you got involved in ACN, you got all excited, ran home and talked to somebody about it? And you were armed with just enough information to look real stupid.
That's right.
But if I give him a magazine, dude, that magazine saved more people, you have no idea. It saved more people, because he can be like, okay, right, they told me not to say anything, but look what Success Magazine says about it. Right now, there's going to be people that have questions. Can we agree? Questions mean interest. If they have questions, I show them very simple, how simple this is, and then I start promoting the training. See, here's what I found. 98% of the people that take a look at this business in a living room and don't sign up but come to training will sign up. Because they just got to see it. There's more than just a living room. How many of you know what I mean? How many of you walked in here tonight, you're like, oh, there's some people here. Right? There's other people doing this, right? And I definitely give them a magazine. Why? Because they're still in research mode. Can we agree? Yes. Now, what's research today? The internet. You know what I love about the internet? It's like writing on a bathroom wall, yes or no? I can put anything up about anybody in this room, true or false, yes or no? Right? Now, how many of you have Googled ACN? If you haven't, go do it. Because here's what you're going to see: positive and negative. Right now, here's what you're going to see. Zoom Energy. Do you realize we're licensed to sell energy in 18 states? You realize to get a license to sell energy in every state, 1, you got to apply for it. 2, you got to meet the criteria. Then you got to go in front of a judge, and then the state deems you a license. Is that easy or hard to get? Difficult. Now you're going to see Verizon Wireless. Is that a big company or a little company? Big. Do you think you go down and knock on Verizon's door and say, hey, I want to do business with you, and they're just say, welcome, come on in? No. How about DirecTV and Dish? Big company, little company? Big company. And then you'll see somewhere down there it says ACN's a scam. How many of you saw that? How many that's the only thing you clicked on? You're like, yep, I knew it, click. Why do we gravitate to the negative? You know? Now listen, I'm going to be completely transparent with everybody. Not everybody that's came into ACN has made money.
Right.
Why? Because some of them weren't coachable. And then some of them did nothing. You know, that's just reality. I got a guy in Jersey, I sponsored him in Jersey. He signed up in the business. He's like, I'm going to go to Giant Stadium and get their electric bill. I'm like, time out, champ. Let's get you to training, we'll get your neighbors, get your feet wet first. And you know what he did? He went to Giant Stadium because he knew somebody there. What do you think happened?
You gotta shut
Guess
down.
what? You ask him today, ACN don't work. Right? Now, here's my look. I went to Penn State University for 2 years. after the second year, the college asked me to leave. Now, my parents didn't laugh like you guys. But does that make Penn State a bad school? Should we start closing down universities? No,
Maybe.
that makes me a what? A bad student, right? See, ACN's had some bad students, so for them not to get affected, give them a magazine so it gives them something to do research. And you agree, Success Magazine can do just a little bit more research than you and I can, yes or no?
Yes.
Right? And then there's going to be people that say no. Everybody say no.
No.
It'd be okay. You know why I love no's? I never went out and got a customer. Now let me reframe that. I got a lot of personal customers, but how did I get them is from people that weren't interested in the business. In my first home meeting, I had 22 people. 8 people signed up, and 10 people became customers. I love no's. Because if they're not interested, say, hey, could you be my customer? And 9 times out of 10, they'll be your customer, yes or no?
Yes.
Right? Ask for referrals. Thank them. You know, I thank them so much. I thank you so much. Because you know what it says? They're saying, hey, look, it's not for me. And can we agree this is not for everybody?
Right.
But working 9 to 5 ain't for me either. That ain't for everybody either, yes or no?
So true.
You know? People approach me all the time with businesses. I said, look, I have some criteria. Does it have any employees? Not interested. Does it overhead? Not interested. Does that fit? I'm not interested. You know? But look, be okay with the no's. Here's the other thing that I had to get good at right here, is understanding the mindset. See, ACN takes care of everything. How many of you realize this is business fantasy land? Now, what do I mean by business fantasy land? Anybody here own a business? Do you do payroll? Right. Does that make you any money technically? But you have to do it, yes or no? Right? Do you have to pay rent? Do you have employees? Is there things you got to do in business to keep you in business that don't necessarily make you money, yes or no? See, you know what I liked about ACN? I didn't have to worry about any of that business fantasy land. The only thing that I've concentrated on the 17 years is 2 things: finding people who want to make money or save money. I've become a professional sorter. People ask me all the time, what do you do for a living? I tell them I'm a sorter. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you look at other ways of making money. If they say no, I say, you're sorting. I'm really good at this. And that's it. See, they say professionals sort and amateurs convince and sell. See, sorting is fun, but convincing is training. Be a professional, listen, sort, move on. And remember, a no might not be a no forever. See, everybody on your list is going to fall into these 3 categories, or 4 categories. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting next. Let me give you a piece of advice. Don't ruin a relationship based on the fact that somebody in your life doesn't see what you see. I'll give you an example. I got a guy on my team, his name's Tom Barr. Now let me tell you, Tom Barr and I worked at that pizza shop together. We worked at the car dealership together. So he was one of the top people on the list. Because every time Tom and I went to work, we hated what we did. We were like, how do we get out of doing this? And so I called Tom, you look at other ways to make money? Absolutely. Got a guy coming to my house. He's like, I'll be there. Showed up at my meeting. It wasn't for him. I said, no. Now I didn't say, Tom, what do you mean no, Tom? What are you talking about? We were talking the other day about our boss and dying on this car lot and how horrible. And he goes, it's not for me. And I thanked him. And he became a customer. I said, hey, would you be a customer? He said, he became a customer. Now, can we agree life goes on? My brother and I are from Pennsylvania. When you make a lot of money, the first thing you do is move. We've been living in Miami for a number of years. And then ACN got into energy. We moved back up here. We're in New York for a while. My brother went to Pittsburgh. And we're from Altoona. It's very close. I live in Dallas now. But Tom saw something on Facebook with my brother's post. He called my brother up because I've never been more interested in ACN than right now. He signed up, went regional director. He's now one of the top regional directors in the company. Now, can we agree, if I would have made Tom feel bad about his no, he probably wouldn't be in my business today, yes or no?
Right.
But when I said, hey, thank you, appreciate the time, would you be my customer? Because we need customers too, yes or no?
Yes.
We need customers too. So don't ruin relationships, because here's what I do know. Life leaves clues. You're going to have some people that'll say no, and they'll poke their head over the fence in 6 months. You still doing that ACN thing? Yeah. Is that still working? Are you still doing that? Because some people need to see if you're this excited 6 months from now, yes or no?
That's right.
Right? So the other thing you're going to go through is this, the emotional roller coaster. How many of you know what this is? That's called life. See, life isn't what happens to you, because life is going to happen to you. It isn't what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you, yes or no. See, if you go to the hospital and that's a straight line, how are you doing? Game over, right? Now, look, when I got involved in ACN, I was on the emotional roller coaster for a little bit. I remember I got excited. And when I signed that form, I was out of my mind because we're in the phone business. I'm like, everybody I know has a phone. This is unbelievable. Upside earning potential here is limitless. I can help other people. I can finally own my own business. This is great. They're going to show me how to do it. Possibility entered my life that didn't exist. Possibility of living a dream life. Possibility of having success. You know, I remember I went home and Patrick and I stayed up all night. Now, I didn't Google ACN. You know what I Googled? Mercedes-Benz. Because I quit looking at them. How many of you know what I mean? As a kid, I had the Ferrari and the Lamborghini on the wall. They came down years ago. Why? Because I wrapped my life around my paycheck. I started justifying it. It's a Camry. It's good gas mileage. They say these things run forever, right? How many of you know what I mean? How many of you have been doing that right now? You quit dreaming. Heck, I'd have paid $4.99 just to be excited and start dreaming again. Right? And I remember I was excited, but I woke up the next day with an ACN hangover. How many of you know what I mean? Like, I was driving to work, and I'm driving that Camry, and the voices start talking to me. How many of you know what I mean? Oh, I'm the only one with voices. Right? Like, what are you doing? Because being excited was a foreign concept to me. I didn't get up in the morning and just get excited to run to that car lot. I was like, what are you doing? Once you get yourself into, you start questioning yourself. Look, tell the voices to be quiet. They've never been right. And I remember I went to work and I made my first mistake. I grabbed these two guys and I brought them in my office. They were two of the best salesmen I ever met. One guy's name was Bob Pheasant. The other guy's name was Mike Dodgell, and I brought him in my office, and boy, we got an ACN presentation. Like, I gave him a drink of water with a fire hose. How many of you know what I mean? And we're going to get rich! What are you talking about? About the phone! What do you mean, Mike? We can make money via make phone calls. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, man, I saw this meeting last night. They're like, where was it? I'm like, at Anna Jacobson's house. They're like, the real estate agent? What'd she know about phone service? I'm like, well, there was this guy. He was from out of town. He came in here. We can make phone calls and, we can save people money over the phone and, get paid when they pay bills. And then, like, you can be underneath me and then he can be underneath you. And it's like that. You laugh. That's what happens to you, all right?
So true.
And then they started asking me questions. Like, what's the name of the company? ACN. Oh, when Verizon hears about you, you're going out of business. How are you guys working with Verizon taking their customers? That makes no sense. Then they started asking me questions where I started questioning myself. Yes or no? They're like, tell me about this guy from out of town. I'm like, oh, he's from Rochester, New York. His name's Danny Volanino. They're like, really? Did you meet him prior to that? I'm like, no. Did he have a tan? Yeah. Did you give him any money? Yeah. Here's where I went. Right there. You know what I mean? Like, I ate lunch with these guys every day, but not that day. Because they just making fun of me, man. Look, here comes the telecom giant. Get out of his way. I remember I called my brother. I'm like, one more comment. But I called my brother. I said, Pat, I don't know if this is for us. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, well, I went to work, I talked to these two guys, and I'm like, we got to ask those people at ACN a couple questions. Like, now I'm not even on my side. He goes, Mike, they told us not to talk to anybody. Yeah, right, all right. My brother's always a little coachable with me. So here's what I did, is I just kept my mouth shut. I said, I'm going to come to this training, I'm going to figure it out. And I came to a training, and here's what I saw, something simple. I saw other people having success, yes or no? I saw some people having part-time success. I saw some people having full-time success. And I saw some people just making crazy amounts of money. And having a lifestyle that I couldn't even believe existed. And I remember after that training, I was, still on the fence. But I remember the guy that was doing the training. He was 29 years old. He was making $40,000 a month. Now, to me, that was all the money in the world. I'm making 29 grand a year at 33. He's 29 making a month what I made in a year. And I remember I went up to him and I was like, look, I said, this is unbelievable. And wow, this works. And he goes, if you follow the system, it'll work for you. He goes, if you're coachable, it'll work for you. He goes, and my goal is to make $80,000 a month. My head exploded. He goes, but for me to do that, I got to help you make 40 grand a month. I said, Pat, we found our new best friend. And I'm gonna like, this is awesome. Then I went home, started making phone calls, and here's what I found. Some of the people, when I said, do you look at those ways of making money? They said, no.
Yeah.
Wow. Then I realized, wow, I was broke. Some of the people I'm hanging around had broke mindsets. Right? And I had my first meeting, and the 8 people that signed up, most of them were already real successful. And I remember the next day, 2 people quit. Where did I go? How many of you had people quit? Good. If your hand's up, you can go SVP. If you haven't had anybody quit, you need some quitters. And when that happens, guard your attitude. When you have someone quit, pick up the phone and say, hey, look, I'm going SVP and I needed a quitter and you're it. Click and move on. And move on. Don't let them affect your attitude. Look, I guard my attitude more than I guard my money. You know why? With a positive mental attitude, I can get more, yes or no?
Yeah.
This business is a phenomenal business. And the people you'll meet, I got a guy on my team named Jason Strayhorn. Jason Strayhorn played for Michigan State. He was the captain of the team. He went and played for about 5 or 6 seasons in Miami, and now he does all the Michigan State's games for Fox. He's been on television and everything, and he signed up in ACN. And the people that he's been able to put in front of this business has been amazing. Amazing. He had a guy in his living room who's the chief of the Chippewa Indians. This is in Michigan. Chief of the Chippewa Indians. They got 2 casinos and 2 500-room hotels. And you know what his question to me was? What do you mean I could switch my energy bill? Chief, you've been on the reservation a little long. Think about that. That's a $500,000 bill. He's like, oh man, and I want to introduce this to other people. See, you're going to find some of the most successful people who do this because here's why. They say the mind's like a parachute. It only works when it's open, yes or no? Listen, keep the bar down. It's okay. Not everybody's going to do it. Keep the bar down. This is called normal. See, here's one thing that served me well in life, and I had to create it here. I always find the positive in every situation. You can't put me in a situation that I can't find the positive. People come to me all the time, oh, I got this problem, I got that problem. Like, what's the positive? I don't know the positive. I'm like, because you're so focused on the negative. You can't see the positive. That's all I focus on. Keep the bar down. Focus on the reason you're doing it. This is another big thing. Why are you here tonight? See, when they asked me my why, I said, look, it's money, money, and money. How many of you know what I mean? They said, Mike, if it was about money, you'd already be rich. That was the craziest thing I've ever heard. And then he gave me this example. Imagine if I put a beam across this room, and I'll give $1,000 cash to anybody come up and walk the beam. How many of you walk the beam? Right? Everyone. You'll line up here, you'll walk across and say, give me my grand, yes or no? But imagine if I take that beam and put it 40 stories up. Same beam. Same $1,000. How many of you walk it? Yeah, well, we'll see if we get you up there, right? Right? But watch this. Imagine if I take that beam, put it 40 stories up, put one of your kids at the other end of the beam, and I light that building on fire. Now, how many of you walk the beam? You wouldn't do it for the grand, but you would do it for something greater than you. You know what my why became? To retire my parents. Retire my parents. I watched my dad work 3 jobs at some point in his life so my mom could stay home with us kids. And 3 boys couldn't retire 2 people. And when I wrote that down, that was so far out of my realm of thinking because I'm making 29 grand a year going, how? My brother Pat's like, why don't we build him a beach house too? I'm like, yeah, put that down also. But see, here's what happened. When that became my why, I didn't care how many people were gonna say no. Because I was doing it for mom and dad. Our 5th year, we built them a beach house. Our 5th year, we retired them. You know, my father passed away in that beach house. My mother lives a great life because of ACN. You know, this isn't all about money, but it's what we can do with it, yes or no? Yes. Money gives us freedom, yes or no? Money gives us choices. And money lets us buy the most important thing in our life back is time, yes or no? You build this thing right, and you get residual income, no matter what happens to the economy, people are going to pay these bills. I mean, guys, if we could go back in time and partner up with AT&T, how many of you would have jumped on board with that?
Oh, yeah.
All of us would. That's what's happening in the energy business. History is repeating itself. So focus on your why, right? Now, the next part of this is about events. And I'm bringing up an individual that I got a ton of respect for. I watched this man come into this business, and he was successful coming into ACN, you know, on the surface. You don't know what's going on underneath people's surfaces, yes or no? And I watched him come in, and he poured his heart into this business, and he's grown as a human being. He's one of the best people that I know. And he moved to this market for the energy business and for everybody in this room. He'd take his shirt off his back to work with people. He's one of the most committed human beings I've ever met. He's a circle of champion members, and let me tell you what that means. That means he's the top 1% of all ACN global. And you guys have him right here in your market. And I'd like to bring up Platinum Regional Vice President, Circle of Champions member, Mr. Jeff Freeman.
All right, at least get dressed up here for a minute. All right, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. We're just so excited to get a chance to be here to wrap up the night here for you this evening. But to get a chance to listen to Mr. Mike Mazer, let me tell you this. There are a lot of people in this industry of network marketing all around the world. Mike and his brother Patrick are in the top 25 people in the history of this industry of network marketing and have been the #1 producers in our company for 11 going on 12 years in a row. And here's how they categorize that. The amount of people that they've helped become successful. They have more success stories than anybody that's ever done this business. And I'm just blessed to have had them as mentors to be one of those people. But I know Mike just poured his heart out to everybody tonight. He's been literally flying all over the country, and he came here, has been in New England for the last couple of days with us. If we could please show our appreciation to Mr. Mike Mazer. You know, my topic here tonight to wrap this event up is something that my first training that I went to, the last speaker said this. He said, if you don't get good at anything else in this business, but you can get this last piece down, you can go all the way in this business. They said, even if you don't become great at getting customers, even if you don't become great at recruiting, if you can just get this last piece down, you can go all the way in this business. And as soon as he said that, here's what I did. I took out my notebook, I took out my pen and said, start talking because I want to know. And here's what he said. He said, it's about promoting events. He said, if you can get good at promoting events and letting the system work for you, you can go all the way. He said, you don't have to be the presenter.